8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. Rehearsals for the 76th Independence Day ceremony will commence tomorrow. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that public servants must support the political leadership in achieving development goals. The Sri Lankan fishing trawler and crew hijacked by pirates rescued. The Minister of Agriculture has stated that there is no need to import rice. The Thai Prime Minister will visit Sri Lanka to sign a free trade agreement. 10 senior attorneys took their oaths as President's Counsel. In foreign news, Iran denies involvement in drone strike that killed 3 US troops. And in sports news, cricket, Sri Lanka Test squad against Afghanistan has been named. Rehearsals for the 76th Independence Day ceremony will commence tomorrow. The Police Media Division said the rehearsals will begin tomorrow morning. Rehearsals will continue until the 3rd of February at the Goldface Green. A special traffic plan will be put in place on a stretch of the Gold Road in view of the upcoming event. As such, the Gold Road will temporarily remain closed from the Kolupitia Junction to Goldface and from Ceramic Junction to Goldface. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena mentioned that political differences should be limited only to political debates and that public servants should provide their fullest support to the political leadership. He expressed these views at a meeting held on the multi-sector integrated mechanism for empowering rural economic revitalization centers to ensure food security and nutrition under the National Integrated Development Program, New Village, New Country, in the Polonnaruwa District Progress Review meeting held at the Polonnaruwa District Secretarial Auditorium today. No matter what opinions the public holds, public servants must have faith that the government is doing its best to build the country. Today, the country has raised its head from the serious setback it faced. The government regained confidence after a period of difficult times and dealt with those times and brought the country to a better condition. Although there are small issues still pending, the country has already recovered from the great collapse. According to the spokesman of the Sri Lanka Navy, Captain Gayan Wickramasuriya, 3 sea pirates have been taken into custody by the Seychelles Navy. He further revealed that the secured Sri Lankan fishing trawler is currently being escorted to the Victoria Harbour in Seychelles. According to the Director General of the Fisheries Department, the Seychelles Coast Guard has rescued the Sri Lankan fishing trawler and its 6 crew members, which had been hijacked by the sea pirates in the Arabian Sea. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amaravira says that the government is already working on producing the required quantity of rice within the country itself. Amaravira stated that accordingly there is no need to import rice from overseas. Furthermore, the minister expressed that he has instructed the relevant authorities to work towards producing an excess amount of rice within the country, enabling the export of rice from Sri Lanka to foreign countries. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the Prime Minister of Thailand will undertake a 2-day official visit to Sri Lanka from the 3rd to the 4th of February 2024 at the invitation of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Thai Prime Minister will participate in the ceremony to mark the 76th anniversary of the independence of Sri Lanka as a guest of honour. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs added that the Thai Prime Minister is scheduled to have official discussions with President Wickremesinghe and witness the signing of the historic Sri Lanka-Thailand Free Trade Agreement during the visit. The Free Trade Agreement will be signed by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Commerce of Thailand and the Minister of Trade, Commerce and Food Security of Sri Lanka. The agreement is expected to boost trade and investment ties between the two countries and promote deeper integration with the ASEAN economies. Sri Lankan film director Jagat Manuwarna has clinched the esteemed Best Director Award in the Asian competition section of the 22nd Dhaka International Film Festival. Manuwarna's stellar victory is attributed to his feature film directorial debut Whispering Mountains, which first dazzled audiences at the Bright Future program of the 2023 International Film Festival in Rotterdam. The film not only premiered, but there was also the NetPAC Awards for the Best Asian Feature Film, marking a notable recognition for the director's exceptional storytelling prowess. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
10 senior attorneys took their oaths as President's Counsel at a ceremonial sitting of the Supreme Court. Chamantha Veerakon, Dr. Asanga Gunavangsha, Mohammed Adamali, Harsha Fernando, Dr. Sivaji Felix, Faiza Maka, Kaushalya Navaratna, Upul Kumara Peruma, Viran Korea and Eraj De Silva took their oaths as President's Counsel before the Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya PC and the judges of Apex Courts, Colombo High Courts, Colombo District Courts and Colombo Chief Magistrates Courts. President's Counsel is a professional rank and status conferred to the appointee by the President under the Article 33 of the Constitution. According to the constitutional provision, attorneys at law who have reached eminence in the profession and have maintained high standards of conduct and professional rectitude are appointed as President's Counsel by the President.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
The National Dengue Control Unit says that a special dengue control program has been implemented to cover the Colombo district. Its director, Dr. Sudha Samarveera, said that 20% of dengue cases in the country are reported from the Colombo district. He added that 7,000 cases of dengue have been reported in the last 3 weeks of this year alone. That came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines. Iran denies involvement in drone strike that killed 3 U.S. troops. Gaza aid agency said it is extremely desperate after funding halted. Japan's moonlander Slim comes back to life and resumes mission. Iran has denied it was involved in the drone attack which killed 3 U.S. troops and injured 34 on a U.S. base in Jordan near the Syria border. U.S. President Joe Biden said the attack had been carried out by Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq. At a campaign event in South Carolina on Sunday, he said they shall respond to this attack. It is the first time U.S. soldiers have been killed by strikes in the region after Hamas's 7th October attack on Israel sparked the war in Gaza. More countries have ordered funding to the largest UN agency operating in Gaza as the crisis deepens over the alleged role of some staff in the 7th October Hamas attacks on Israel. Japan and Austria said they were suspending payments to the UN agency for Palestinian refugees. UNRWA. The US, UK, Germany and Italy are also among those who have suspended funding. UNRWA has told the BBC it is extremely desperate and the humanitarian needs in Gaza are growing by the hour. Japan's moonlander has resumed operations after being shut down for a week due to a power supply issue. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, said it re-established contact with the lander on Sunday, indicating that the glitch had been fixed. Its solar systems are working again after a shift in lighting conditions allowed it to catch sunlight, the agency said. It could not generate power when it landed on the 20th of January as the solar cells pointed away from the sun. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Iran denies involvement in drone strike that killed 3 US troops. Gaza aid agency says it is extremely desperate after funding halted. Japan's moon lander Slim comes back to life and resumes mission. That ends this bulletin of World News.
Development News.
Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathiran announced a staggering 91% vaccination rate for measles among children, a crucial step in combating a recent resurgence of the disease after eradication. This achievement demonstrates the country's dedication to proactive health care. Speaking at a media briefing, Dr. Pathiran outlined further health priorities for 2024. Disease prevention takes center stage, with plans to bolster primary health care services and improve efficiency for patients. That was Development News.
Moving on with sports news.
The Sri Lanka Test squad comprising 16 players have been picked by the National Selection Committee, headed by Upul Tharanga, and this squad is subject to approval by the Sports Minister. The squad is led by new captain Dhananjaya De Silva, while experienced players Dimut Karunaratne, Angela Matthews and Dinesh Chandmal. The 3 former skippers are also included in the squad. The Afghanistan Test squad will arrive tomorrow for the one and only test match that will commence on the 2nd of February at the SSC grounds. And that was sports news.
Go ekakiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Export Development Bank reported that Sri Lanka's total exports for the year 2023 reached $14.49 billion. In a report issued in this regard, the bank revealed that Sri Lanka had recorded a total of $14.99 billion in export for the year 2023, $3.8 billion higher than that earned last year. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siyamalapitia said issuing the taxpayer identification number TIN has not been curtailed. It will continue with the assistance of the Department of Registration of Persons using the national identity card numbers. Addressing the media in the Ruanwala recently, the minister said that the TIN will be issued using the database of 15 million individuals over 18 years in the country. The minister said a complete database on state revenue could be created after the introduction of the digital identity card in the future. And that was Economic News.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the eastern and Nuva provinces and in the Polonnaruwa, Matale and Nuwara districts. A few showers may occur in the Anuradhapura, Mullaitivu and Hambantota districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Galle, Mathura and Kandy districts after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds of about 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the northern, north-central, eastern, central, Uva and northwestern provinces and the Hambantota district. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. Rehearsals for the 76th Independence Day ceremony will commence tomorrow. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that public servants must support the political leadership in achieving development goals. The Sri Lankan fishing trawler and crew hijacked by pirates rescued. The Minister of Agriculture has stated that there is no need to import rice. The Thai Prime Minister will visit Sri Lanka to sign a free trade agreement. 10 senior attorneys took their oaths as President's Council. In foreign news, Iran denies involvement in drone strike that killed 3 US troops. And in sports news, cricket, Sri Lanka Test squad against Afghanistan has been named. That ends this bulletin of news. The time reads exactly 9 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.